All right, so I had a client a few years ago. He said, "Hey, what puts the targets in slow motion? Why is it on some days that I can, the targets look like they're the size of trash can lids, moving at about 15 miles an hour, and then other days they look like little aspirins with afterburners, right?" And then he said, "Is it my setup?" Right? And let's define setup. That's your foot positioning, that's your stance, that's how you mount the gun, how you coil your body, where your hold point is, where your look point is, and how you set your eyes, and where's your mind when you call pull. Like, that's all part of setup, right? So I said, that's the first half of it. I said, when you have the correct setup and a consistent setup, that gives you a fighting chance to get off to that gives you a fighting chance to put that target in slow motion, but it doesn't guarantee it. I said the back half of that is you have to get off to a good start, meaning you actually move on movement and you match the speed of the target right there. So when you can, that's how you put targets in slow motion, is you find that perfect setup for you, each individual, and then you've got to combine it with what I call a good start. So if you have a good setup and a good start, that sets you up to get a good hard focus and stare at the target. So when I give that little speech, like there's 3 S's you got to remember, not the ones that we're accustomed to as men, but it's setup, start, stare, and it's got to be done in that order. When you step in the box, if you're so worried about staring at the target, I guarantee you're going to mess something up in your setup or your start, making your job staring at target even harder. So it's not that staring at the target is a bad idea, but you got to do it at the proper time. Does that make sense? So that's why on those low fours just now, you're like, man, I feel like I'm catching a couple of them late. Well, all the ones you caught late, what happened? Something was off in the beginning. Bad start, or the bad start was caused by looking in the wrong place. But then once you knew where to look, right, then you still have to accompany that with getting off to that right start speed. Does that make sense?